G'day you good motherfuckers, my name's Isaac Butterfield and I recently saw a YouTube video by Australian YouTuber Friendly Geordies about the Australian news show The Project. If you didn't know, The Project is a news program that is aimed towards menopausal women who constantly have tears growing in the corners of their eyes, and the only thing that will plug it is half an hour of the worst journalism you've ever did see and possibly a big 15-inch dildo. Geordie's video touched on many things, including the Australian government's hatred for free speech in this country and the Project's blind complicity in that particular topic.
That face. It didn't used to be that smug.
There was no mention of dildos though, Geordie, so please increase the mention of dillies in your videos. Thank you. It is genuinely disgusting and horrifying how under attack freedom of speech is in Australia right now. The government is putting in legislation to stop you speaking your mind. That's fucking insane. There's never been a time where the policing of language and thought has been so rife throughout a country so westernized as mine. In America, they have the First Amendment to protect freedom of speech. We are without one and we are destined to be fucked. People like me with a public platform and the ability to speak their mind will no longer exist in the future. And you may sit there and go, great, we don't want Isaac anymore. He's this, he's that, he's not funny, he's this, he sucks, he's got a bald head. Listen here, idiot, you're wrong. I'm great, I'm wonderful, and I'm a damn fucking sex god. But also, where does it stop? Maybe someone you love on the internet or on the TV will also lose their ability to speak freely. It is a slippery fucking slope.
First they came for the edgelords, and I did not speak out because I wasn't an edgelord. I was a soy boy.
And leading the destruction of the ability of our people in Australia to speak freely is the fucking boss man, Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia, or ScoMo as we call him here. He leads up the Liberal Party here in Australia, which is a right-wing party, liberal meaning the opposite in Australia than it does in America along the political spectrum. Anyway, if you didn't know that, now you know, you fucking learned something. Well done. Hang on a second, is this Butterfield bloke who's supposed to be a gateway to the alt-right and a right-wing comedian talking shit about the right-wing political party here in Australia? Yes, idiot. I call bullshit where I see it, and I see it right fucking now from the Australian Liberal Party, these free speech hating. Now, before I go any further in this video, you know a company who loves free speech? Surfshark VPN, and that is who is proudly sponsoring this video.
Oi, Butterfield!
Yes, my fair maiden.
You know what my favourite thing about the internet is?
Don't say porn, 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 don't say porn. Porn?
No, dickhead! Surfshark VPN. Surfshark keeps me protected from all the dirty soy boys trying to do me harm.
Of course! Surfshark VPN turns you into an anonymous and hard to trace online user.
This is very important, particularly in Australia with the new data surveillance laws rushed through Parliament, meaning the government can have your device and collect your data and take over your social media.
Yes. And will it affect my porn usage?
What? No, we don't even have to talk about that, you freak.
Also, did you know what geo-blocking is? Disney Plus or Netflix have different films for different countries. Access shouldn't be tied to your nationality, and Surfshark gives me all of the access that I need. Just connect to the service, refresh the page, and access. Granted, I use Surfshark every single day and it starts automatically whenever I turn on my PC.
Use the promo code BUTTSMART to get 83% off and 3 extra months for free. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk. Surf with your own set of rules. The link is down in the description.
I'll be sleeping on the lounge tonight. Back to the video.
You make me sick, Butterfield, you dirty mudblood.
The Australian Liberal Party plans to nuke free speech with several pieces of legislation, including the Anti-Trolling Bill of 2022. One of the most powerful parts of the bill includes this. The bill would deem the social media service provider to be the publisher of the material published on their service that is posted in Australia for the purposes of defamation law. Meaning if you were to defame someone could sue Facebook for allowing you to post it. Meaning, why the fuck would any social media site even give a shit about what anyone had to say here in Australia? They would just stop it. They would stop allowing people to post, which would stop people being allowed to speak their mind. Meaning the people of Australia would no longer have the ability to speak freely to the world or to each other. That's horrible. Now, there's so much more to that law and everything that's happened. Go and watch Geordie's videos on it. They're very, very good. I'm just some dickhead with a beard talking about it. But I do have the shits. And guess who loves this shit? The fucking Project.
The online world shouldn't be a wild west where bots and bigots and trolls and others can just anonymously going around and harm people and hurt people, harass them and bully them and sledge them.
I don't disagree, Scott. Maybe making people use their actual name on social media sites could be a great way to curb bullying and harassment and all that type of stuff. But also there are times in someone's posting career, if you will, on the internet where being an anonymous user could be really beneficial. Let's look at someone by the name of Julian Assange. He posted very important information and is now in jail. Now, if you were someone like Julian who wanted to post this information and you wanted to do it under a pseudonym, you then couldn't do that because it was against the law, and then you just wouldn't do it because you don't want to go to fucking prison. So, if the government breaks the law, you can't post about it because you want to protect yourself, but then you can't do it because they're going to come after you and they're going to know exactly who you are, so you don't do it and the government gets away with it. So maybe with that knowledge, this is just a mere smokescreen to protect them, because I've been harassed online. I've been cancelled 3 fucking times. But I really do think it's all about them when it comes to this law. Protecting people attacking their policies or their political agenda, or the politicians themselves.
The Fed's vowing to crack down on social media abuse through world-first legislation to be tabled in Parley this week.
Fuck, the project sucks. Did you just say Parley as short for Parliament? Fuck off. There's a reason it's a world first, because there's very few other countries you could get away with that shit. Fuck you to the moon.
Here's how it'll work. If you believe you've been defamed online, you'll be able to get a court order forcing social media giants like Facebook and Twitter to identify your troll. The platforms risk copping a defamation payout themselves if they either don't comply or can't work out the identity.
Again, I don't think that's that bad. If you're going around defaming someone, then someone should be able to sue you. If you're spreading lies, and this is how I sort of understand defamation law, also, got no idea what I'm fucking talking about, but if you, if say fucking Johnny Big Dick's bloody department store, I said, no, that's a fucking department store, Johnny Big Cock's Dildo Emporium, and I said, Johnny Big Cock's Dildo Emporium are covered in mould, right? And they're not, it's a lie, and they lose business, they could sue me for defamation because I have caused them to lose money or lose income. And they could sue me for that amount of income that they have lost, or potential income. That's how I understand defamation law. I actually think that's how they teach it in Year 12 legal studies, the Johnny Big Cock's Dildo Emporium. Anyway, I think it is important for people to undertake legal action against someone who has broken the law, and revealing who these trolls are maybe isn't a bad thing all the time. But is it really about stopping trolls and protecting everyone? No. It's about stopping us, the people, being able to have any impact on the narrative. Governments all around the world for the longest time, forever really, have always needed and desperately needed to control the narrative. And now that we have freedom of speech through the internet, particularly in places where freedom of speech isn't really recognised under law, we have freedom here to speak whatever we want, talk about whatever we want, and that affects the way the narrative is delivered. That is a danger to the powers that be, and they have found a way to stop it, and it's this bill.
There needs to be an easy and quick and fast way for people to raise these issues with these platforms and get it taken down.
Yeah, quick, fast and easy if you got a fuck ton of cash to throw at a court case. And this is the same bloke who said this about when Charlie Hebdo, the French satirical newspaper, drew a picture of Muhammad and had It's Hard Being Friends with Jerks as the title. This is what he said about the Muslim extremists that went down into that building and unfortunately murdered in vicious cold blood all of those poor journalists. Your logic is those who drew the pictures should have known better. He's talking to the compere here. And should have known what the response would be. Whereas I say, if you can't accept that people have different views to you, then maybe the problem is with you. If your response is to pull out an AK and go nuts. So he's saying that if people disagree with you, then you should just allow it to exist. But that's not what you're doing with this bill. Well, the material was designed to offend. And Morrison says, so what? And a lot of what I've heard here today has offended me. But if you're civilized, and I like to think that's a major issue with some of the people we are talking about, if you're civilized, you just get on with it. We shouldn't have to have special rules for special people. Interesting. This is Scotty a couple of years ago talking about how it's all okay or nothing's okay when it comes to freedom of speech, and yet this is what his government's doing. How times change, ScoMo.
To social media companies, you will be deemed the publisher.
The announcement comes after Deputy PM Barnaby Joyce demanded a crackdown, having seen the toll trolling took on his own daughter.
Yes, trolling is bad, okay? But should we impede everybody's ability to speak freely just so people don't get slightly offended?
Questions are already being raised about the practicalities.
I honestly don't know how you reverse engineer identifying users, given that the users are now in the billions.
If you set up the Twitter account overseas, like how can you sue those people too?
Oh, okay. According to the project, there's no need for a balanced argument here. They just bring people in who want to talk about optics, how to find these trolls all over the world. No need for someone to come in and argue it. That would be ridiculous. That's almost journalism.
So, will taking away their anonymity finally be enough to silence the trolls?
So, will taking away our right as the consumer, as the people, as the average Joe to speak freely on the internet have any effect on the powers that be? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not just talking about politicians, I'm talking about bankers, I'm talking about corporations. Without the ability for us to speak how we need to speak about them, they continue to control the world, the narrative, and us.
These places are cesspits of like horrible behaviour.
Yeah.
And they clearly, the platforms themselves just have not been willing to address it. Sometimes you do have to regulate when these places won't sort it out for themselves.
Yeah, so it's a step in the right direction.
Yes, a step in the right direction to control everyone. Wonderful. As long as no laws are broken, I see no problem with freedom of speech and online anonymity. But I have a massive issue with the powers that be, the people in control, telling us what we can and cannot say in the realm of the new town square, which is social media, the place that we spend all of our time and talk. Being told what to do there is not good. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Isaac Butterfield, and for now, I'm speaking freely. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the video. Your support means absolutely everything. If you haven't subscribed, do it right now. You keep me dogs fed, and I love you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, there's 3 new videos on this channel every week, and if you want more, you can head over to Little Buttsman, which is the 2nd channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there is more. What about the podcast each and every week? It's available on Spotify and YouTube as well, and I'm also on tour right now around the country doing my show, Cancel Me Now. Stand-up comedy is back, ladies and gentlemen, and please, for Christ's sake, follow me on Instagram. I'm very lonely. Love ya. Bye.